Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you. I am your host, Uncle B. Please pay attention to the following announcement. International streaming rules and regulations require me to provide the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We will be flying in the Cessna 182 Tango Skylane. I know I said the 337, but it just didn't seem like it was going to fit this flight today. We are departing from Venaria Reale. It's a small military helicopter base. We are flying to Stradella. Excuse me, I had to cough. And we're going to see the stadium where Juventus plays, the Mule Antonelliana. I'm probably butchering that name. Then we're going to head over by Modena Airport near the test track there for Ferrari. And then we will head over into Stradella and we will talk about some things along the way. My schedule is created, I fly the sim the way I want to. My schedule is created well in advance, meaning that I spend time finding interesting places like this to fly, as well as fly an aircraft that I am confident will work in the sim. My streaming schedule is subject to change based on my own real-life schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays, jetliner, regional jet, regional prop, including business jets. Thursdays, we have military aviation flights. Saturdays, we have flights featuring the P-38 Lightning. We call it Lightning Saturday. And Sundays, we have our scenic flights. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Hello, Fish Guns. How are you? Yeah, that's part of the affiliate sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's going to be a nice little flight. It's going to be about an hour, a little over an hour long. I was trying to find something where I can just set the plane and we can fly and just kind of see the scenery and all that. So we're going to try to stay at about 2,000 or 2,500 feet, give or take. We may increase our altitude if we run into anything too high, but I think it's going to be fairly, once we get out of here, I think it'll be a nice leisurely flight. And I have links. All the stuff we're going to talk about, I will put links in the chat here after I get the plane started up. So let's get in here and get going, shall we? So nice to see you all here. And if you're watching on the replay on YouTube, thank you for coming by and hanging out and enjoying the video. This will be available on Saturday the 4th in the morning. So I will get going on the yeah, see, this is like a little, I think it's all grass fields, quite honestly. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. That's all right. All right, let's get this thing started up here. Okay, that's set. Let's alternate. Don't think we are going to need the de-ice or anything like that. We don't need. That much altitude. There we go. And then we want to arm that. We want to go. All right. Yeah, about 700 feet a minute will be fine. And let's see, anything else? I think we are good to go. No, Amela, good morning. The thing is that since I made affiliate over on Twitch, I have to wait 24 hours before I can put it on YouTube. That's part of the deal. So I stream it here. I can't put it on anywhere for at least 24 hours, and then it will be a premiere over on YouTube. So yeah, that's part of the agreement of being an affiliate. So yeah, for now on, it's just going to be that. Where's my? Oh, I think the runway's right over here, actually. But it's weird. There's no lines, nothing to tell me which way to go. I'm just going to have to kind of guess it. I think it's out here somewhere. What one was it? We can find the 3-3. Okay. See, the runways aren't marked at all because they fly helicopters out of here, so. It's going to be a guess, really. You know what? No, it shouldn't be. Oops, we are almost there. This. Come on, plane. Well, this thing does not handle the. In the airport, the strip where we're going to land, I think, is grass as well. Kind of, it's like it got stuck. I'm just going to try to take. I didn't think that these things would not be marked or that it wouldn't give me any kind of direction. Because usually once you get moving, they have some kind of. All right. Even that is not. It's almost like it's saying to go here. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna get in the air. And we'll figure it out. I think we want to go at least heading of 3-3. I think. It's going to be 330. Sorry, folks. I'll get this set here in just a second. Then we'll be in the air. Yeah, I really thought there would be at least some kind of a. Yeah, I had chicken nuggets last night for dinner, Mel. No. All right, let's go. We'll get the Autopilot engaged, heading mode engaged, and then we'll get ourselves sorted here. Away we go. That is not the way. We gotta really catch back up. Hello, Skip. How are you? Nice to see you here. Yeah, we're just trying to get to. Boy, we are gonna miss the stadium there, the Juventus Stadium. Sure. There's no way we are going to get there in time. Or not. Oh! Nice. Working while enjoying some beer. So good. Nice. It's always a good thing. Yeah, we're going to have to go back around and try to catch the Juventus Stadium. But I'm going to start putting in. So the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to fly over the city of Turin, which is the first thing we're going to kind of talk about is the Beast of Turin, which is this old Fiat S76 that if you've not seen it before, go check it out on YouTube. It is absolutely amazing. They took it to Goodwood in 2015. It's this 28.5 liter engined car, and it's just, I mean, it's this massive sound, you know, it's just insane. So but Turin was where Fiat got its start, and of course, you know, Italy is very rich in motorsports history, obviously, with Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Lamborghini, you know, places like that. It's just yeah, it's just amazing. So yeah, our stadium should be back here. I know. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I know what I should have done. Oops, I'm gonna have to turn the POIs on so we know where. Sorry about that, folks. Landmark markers. Okay, there's the stadium over there. So this is actually a this spot over here that we can kind of swing by it, and then we'll get on our way back towards the south, towards Modena. Is a former, I think it's like a palace of some kind. If I remember, I was kind of looking at to see what it was, but I didn't put the link. Oh great, but none have working electrics. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a very old, yeah, it's just an amazing bit of engineering, I think, what they were able to do with the, you know, the amount of technology they had available when they built that car. But yeah, if you Google it on YouTube, it's absolutely amazing. Amazing vehicle to watch it go up the hill at Goodwood. It'll just put, you know, the hair in the back of your neck will stand up, basically. Yeah, it's quite a... So yeah, that's where the car was created. There was only 2 examples made. There's a bit of controversy apparently regarding the car that was run up the hill. Some of the parts were on loan, and then when things were returned, it's like this weird sort of... It's a very kind of a strange sort of story, I think. All right, and then we'll get back in line here. Fly over the Juventus Stadium. We need to back off the throttle. Oh, we are overspeeding excessively. Almost not truly excessively, but just it's a bit much. We're going a little too fast. So there's the Juventus Stadium right there. Allianz, I think it's Allianz Arena. Allianz Stadium, yeah, is where Juventus plays. Very famous Italian football team. Right, we gotta go a little bit higher. And then this area, let me put this in here. Put this down. This is a building that houses it's a cinema museum. It was originally going to be a synagogue, but then they turned it into a cinema museum. So there we are. There's that. They think that it's one of the tallest museums in the world. Based on the structure right up the right wingtip there. So yeah, that is, and it's named after the architect who designed it. But the word mole, it looks like it's the word mole, but it denotes a significant, that's like the Italian way of identifying a very significant building. Alright, so we're going to head out over here, probably drop the altitude once we are clear of these low hills or whatever. I just wanted to make sure we cleared those without too many problems. So we got that. And then we are on our way to Modena. I don't know if it's Modena or Modena. I'm not sure how it's pronounced correctly in Italian. But it is the home of Ferrari, Maranello, like the whole area is just all fairly associated with Ferrari. And the original track, the way it was outlined, it did have a runway in the middle of the track, which I guess was fairly common for especially as the teams had access to aviation probably more than the average person, so they could fly drivers and whatnot. It's associated with the Ferrari Museum as well, so the track there. But yeah, I'll post these links. Once we get a little bit closer, I'll post one about let's get Drop some altitude here. Bumpy out here. A little bit of crosswind, it looks like. Oh, it was to the east. I don't know why I thought we were going south, but we were going east across Italy here. And this is all part of northern Italy. We will be flying in Milan at some point, and then also Rome. Florence is next Sunday. So we're kind of just checking out all the updated POIs. Just enjoying a bit of the scenery, but I just picked today, you know, like I wanted to fly. This is kind of vintage, like the initial 182 was produced a long time ago. This, of course, has more modern, bits to it, but I needed something that I knew I could fly that would be able to, fairly decent autopilot system. Make it a little bit easier for me to fly and talk at the same time. We'll pop out here and enjoy the scenery. All the Italian countryside, all the farms. I'm sure a lot of wine, grape farms here. And that is something that is now a feature in Farm Sim 22. Is you can grow grapes now. Yeah, it is pretty amazing. I like doing these. I mean, this is technically like another sort of scenic Sunday sort of thing, but I wanted to throw in a bit of the the points of interest that were back there. I wish that the modern, like everything. I wish the Ferrari museum stuff that I think those points of interest, but they may not have been able to do it because of licensing things. Ferrari is very protective of their name and their anything to do with them. So yeah, it's but that's all right. We'll level off here at about 2,500 feet. Throttle back a little bit. I should have probably gassed up before we left. That's alright, we should have plenty to get there. If not, we'll do a little in-air refueling. It's alright. It'll be like magic. The tanks will suddenly be full of fuel. Probably lean it back just a bit. Get off the prop just a little bit. There we go. But yeah, I was looking at this when I found the when I was putting this route together, and I just happened to find the track there in Modena, and I was like, oh, we got to fly over that. And the marker for the airport right next to the track actually is closer to the track for some reason. The way that they put it was like we're gonna be able to we'll go a little bit past and then turn left over the airport. So Yeah, we're gonna get a nice view of that of the track, I believe. Um, yeah, now we kind of slowed down here a bit. We're gonna enjoy the scenery along the way. Like a, I don't know if it's like on a, it's hard to tell if it's on a, I guess it's kind of on a hilltop somewhat. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. I don't know if it's a winery maybe. It kind of seems like a winery, but I could be wrong. It has that feel because there's all these crop fields. It just has that feel of a winery up on the top of a hill. You know, like you could drive up there and have a light lunch, or you know, some cheese and wine, and you know, that sort of thing. But I could be wrong. Well, maybe not, because this kind of has this. Well, this seems more like a. I wonder. I don't know. It looks neat though. Like it's just, maybe it's just a small village. Maybe it's not a winery, because there's these like hilltop villages. It seems. There's another one. It's like small villages that maybe the larger building might be a church or something, possibly. Because it seems very centrally located in the town, which is where most, you know, houses of worship would be, I think. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, but it seems like we're in an area where it's not like big cities. It's these little villages, and I wonder if they're just all farming villages then, like a farming community. This area here looks a bit bigger. I'd really like to visit Italy one day. That was on my bucket list, and I should have done it when I was in Germany ages ago. It would have been so... Alright, take care, Amela. Nice to see you here. Catch you later. Yeah, it would just be... That was on... I should have done it, because it would have been much easier when I was already in Germany to do the traveling, but... I would have liked to have gone to Monza just once back then, and just to see some of the older great drivers, you know, the Prost, Senna, or like that. So yeah, we did get an update. Nothing really significant, to be honest. The marketplace update was a bit... There was a few things that were updated overall, but it was just not a... It was just kind of... We did finally get the local legends plane, the twin float plane from Italy kind of thing. I don't know, it just... I mean, it looked cool at first, but it just doesn't really, like, jump out at me as something that I need, you know, in my hangar. Yeah, there wasn't much. It was a lot of, you know, airport scenery stuff. You know, some liveries, some well-done liveries by Floor Simmers. They had a kind of a vintage airline pack that came out the other night. Very good stuff. I did get it. It was on sale for like only a couple dollars, and you get like, well, it says 11, but you only get 10. I think there might have been one that they wanted to put in there that maybe it'll come at a later date, kind of like what they did with the Hawaiian Airlines for the North American pack. But that was pretty. I think that was about the only thing that got me really. That was like, yeah, that's it's a no-brainer. Yeah, the rest of it was just kind of like, eh. And I guess that was to be expected. It's just, it is what it is. I did look at the Q&A sort of stuff. Jorg made some very valid points early on from what I read in the transcript. Although the transcript, I think, was a bit off in their translation of the words. But it's okay. But the premise of, I think, Asobo and Microsoft are starting to feel a bit abused, for lack of a better term. That the simmers are they're happy to listen to constructive criticisms, but I guess people have been getting very demeaning in their criticisms, and they'll as long as people are clear in their criticisms and saying, well, this is what I'm seeing and whatever, then that will get results. Now, it may not be results right away, but they're more open to hearing that sort of thing, which is reasonable. Nobody wants to be put down or disrespected when being criticized. And I kind of felt, it is easy to get mad because it seems like, and they're aware, painfully, I think, that there's a lot of things that are happening that they weren't expecting with, the world updates or the sim updates, and they're thinking about the fact that they're trying to keep the schedule where they're trying to do everything very quickly to get things fixed, but then they don't really take the time to test stuff, because if they take the time to test it, then everybody gets mad because it's like, well, when is this going to come out? And but then when they get it out, things inadvertently break, and then it's like we're right back to square one, and they're trying to avoid that. So yeah, I thought his what he said was very valid. It's easy to get angry and let that anger overtake your common sense, and you say a lot of things that you shouldn't say, and but it's already said, and a lot of times people don't go back and say and edit it or go like, hey, I shouldn't have said these things, and I'm just frustrated, because when you are, it's easy for let all that stuff kind of spill over, and then it doesn't really get anything done, unfortunately. So, yeah. But yeah, there was some interesting things. I know they're working on a lot of stuff. The Blossom thing is certainly one of those things that I think people were kind of... I think his plea was also that they want more people to be involved in the beta testing. The more information that they gather back, I think, then the more that they can look at the issues. And I think especially on the Xbox side, that is one of the most important parts of it. And I'm half tempted, maybe more than half tempted. I'm kind of tempted, leaning more towards doing of being a part of the beta tester for Sim Update 10. I don't know. I've never done it before, and I know that there's there's a process and everything, but I'm kind of would like to be able to do that. Now, the problem may be can I stream while I'm also beta testing? I don't know if there's any sort of rules saying that you can't, that they prefer that you don't, because they don't want to show everything. So I don't know if that's going to be possible, you know. And that's going to be opening up here, I think, towards the end of June would be the opening of the beta test for Sim Update 10. World Update 10 should be coming, I think, shortly before, right about the time, or a few days before the Sim Update beta is released for Sim Update 10. So but I don't know. I would have to find out somehow, you know, what are the rules regarding that, because there may be things that they don't want anybody to see. But I don't know. So it's something I have to kind of consider as well. I don't know that I'd want to take almost a whole month off of streaming. No. So otherwise, hopefully everybody's having a good Friday. First Friday of June, June 3rd. Goodness gracious. Tomorrow we'll be in the P-38 Lightning going from King City to Burbank. It should be a bit of a flight. We have a 107 nautical mile flight after our 66 nautical mile first leg. And then Sunday we'll be back in Italy. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry about that. We'll be back in Italy. We'll be in Florence on Sunday. And before we do that, we will be on Northern Transpennine. Monday, we're doing a special D-Day anniversary flight. I will be flying the P-38. We will open up the multiplayer lobby. If you want to fly a vintage Warbird or something, we'll be taking off from Goodwood, and we will head over to Dinard. Yeah, Dinard. Over in France. Not in France, in Normandy. So we will make our way across the channel, and then we'll be landing over there. Shouldn't take very long to do, but should be fun. So if you want to join in on that, you're more than welcome to. If you want to fly a Spitfire, P-38, or if you've got other things and you want to fly it, you're more than welcome to. But Goodwood is a small airport, so, you know, this thing is, we got a heck of a crosswind here, it seems like. Yeah, that's what we got going on. And then Tuesday, we will be in the A320neo flying from Kuwait to Dubai. I think that's a fairly short flight, but we're going to get up to 37,000 feet. We'll be flying in the Kuwait Air liveried A320. And then Wednesday, we'll be back in the Junkers 52, leg 12, our route to Baghdad. I don't know how long that flight is going to be. I have one VOR, which I think is near Baghdad International Airport. So that will help with navigation a bit. We can see how far we have to go and everything, so we know kind of where we're at and how much longer we have to go. But it should be a nice flight there as well. More desert scenery. Military Aviation Thursday, we will be in the MiG Fulcrum, East German liveried. We will be flying in former East Germany. Bautzen to Artries. I'm probably butchering that. We have a nice flight plan for that. And then we'll be in the Stearman 75 North Palm Beach to Sebring. VFR flight will take off and we'll head to Sebring International Raceway. We will be in the, I think it's the Navy liveried, or no, the Army Air Corps. It's yellow and blue liveried Stearman. We'll be heading there as if we're heading over there to do a flyover before the start of the 12-hour race. Even though that happened months ago, you know, the doubleheader weekend, it was the WEC race and then Sebring 12 hours. So we will do that. Should be a nice little flight. Won't be very fast, but should be fun. So it's like we'll have two aviation themed flights on Thursday and Friday, back to back. That's okay. So this does have a turbocharger with the engine. Gives a little bit more horsepower. I think this was produced in the early 2000s. So it's kind of vintage in a way. It's just that I don't think they had all these, they were still developing a lot of these avionics, so I don't think this avionics package from Garmin was there just yet, but it's nice to have it. I think we should be okay, but let me let's get altitude just a bit more. Just to be on the safe side. You know, you get so used to having the full autopilot system built in with the Garmin, and you have this little thing down here, and sometimes it takes a bit getting used to. Definitely getting pumped around here over northern Italy. A lot of farm fields here. Look at that, as far as the eye can see. The engine struggling. I mean, we're not climbing that fast. Interesting. It was acting like I told it to go like 3,000 feet per minute or something. Gas, that's for sure. We've still got enough in the tank, I believe, to get there, our destination. So what I'll do is I'll plug in the discuss, you know, the little Wikipedia about sure I have those other ones open so I can plug them into the description for our on YouTube later once I get the video uploaded. It's the collectors of the recyclables. If somebody was parked kind of in the way of the dumpster again, we're having that issue all over again, unfortunately, it seems like. But It's usually picked up on a Monday. I think we should be able to skirt over this. Yeah, maybe just a little bit more altitude. Just to be on the safe side. And then finally, now I don't, not sure how to pronounce the name of this. I think it's Mantua. It is it's a commune in Lombardy, Italy, but it is the birthplace of famous Italian driver Tazio Nuvolari, who drove for Alfa Romeo, drove for Maserati. Yeah, very interesting driver this time. I think the last time I went to, was it last or second to last time? It might have been the last time I went to Amelia Island for the car show. Alfa Romeo had a kind of like a booth, whatever, big display area set up, and they had some classic Alfa Romeos. They had some from the 1930s, 1920s, 1930s when they were first starting. I think there was one car that Tazio drove there on display, and then they also had his his driver's vest, and it was like this padded, because back then there was really no safety, stuff. And I took a picture of it. I think it's over on my. I know it's. Hold on a second. I know it is. I do believe. Might be on my Flickr. Let me scroll down. Oh, wait. There it is. Yep. So that should still be on. Okay. I'll put a picture of it in the Discord. Gotta find it again. No, that's too far. I have to find it again. I know it's somewhere. But anyway, I'll put that in the Discord. Oh, we got to take a... Ooh, wow, that's way too much. Way too much. I forgot I was still dialed in on the heading bug there. Let's get a picture here. Ooh, you know what? We'll take the picture as we get to Modena. How about that? We'll try to get a picture as we go over the over the track there. There we go. They say it's his racing jacket, but it's more like a vest. There was no arms to it. It was just like seemed like something. It appears to be padded somewhat, but you know, like I said, there was no real safety measures when Tazio and a lot of those drivers back then did. You know, there was no seat belts, no crash bars. You know, many drivers felt, and this went all the way up until much later in racing, that many drivers did not want to buckle a seatbelt. They'd rather be tossed from the car because they felt they stood a better chance of surviving being thrown from the car than they would if they were trapped and they couldn't get the seatbelt undone or whatever. Yeah, we should clear these fairly easily. I don't think there'll be too much of a problem. Where's my PDF? If these studies right there and there. 3. See, it's saying there's a 2-knot wind from behind us, or a 3-knot wind, but it feels like it's more of a crosswind than anything. Like we're just getting pushed around all over the place. I mean, that does help save. We're going a little bit faster thanks to that tailwind, but it's a tailwind. It says it's coming from behind us. Yeah, it's a tailwind. But the way it's acting, it's like we're getting hit with a crosswind coming from both directions. It's like doing this weird sort of zigzag. See, there it goes again. It cannot hold that. It's like it's not holding that direction. You know, it's kind of going all over the place. I think it's so bad it seems like you got to go in and line it up all over again. But anyway, let me see Discord now. I remember. Yeah, you get a sense of what his what he wore when he raced. There was a book, I've read the book a couple times. It's a very interesting story about him and his life. You know, he was one of those people, of course, you know, health was not a priority. You know, he probably smoked, I think he smoked excessively. But, you know, he died, I think it talks about it. I don't think it was it an accident or... He died from a stroke in 1953. Oh, wow. And he was born just before the turn into the 20th century. So he was still born in the 19th century. Lived almost halfway into the 20th century. 54 years old when he died from a stroke. And I believe where he was born, the house, or I don't know if the house is, you know, but that neighborhood or whatever, there's a museum to him there, and I think it says birth home. It's still standing, and they turned it into a Tazio Nuvolari museum. So he raced for Ferrari, but I think it was before, because Ferrari was still racing Alfa Romeos. He hadn't started his own motorsports sort of thing until after World War II, so he purchased Alfa Romeos, or had a deal to run Alfa Romeos, so that's why you see some of the early Alfa Romeo race cars with a Ferrari badge on it on the side. Scuderia, whichever way it's pronounced, is Italian for stable. So it was like the Ferrari stable, basically. Wow, look at that. We are just getting pushed all over the place here. And it's weird because I'm not seeing the winds act that way. Well, I haven't really been paying attention, but we've got a tailwind. How could we be getting... And it's only 2 knots. 4 knots, 3 knots. It shouldn't be that significant. It's like it's more than that. It's kind of strange. But that's something I think they're going to be working on, is the winds and stuff like that in Sim Update 10. That's one of their... If I remember what Jorg said, I think that's one of their focuses for Sim Update 10, is getting the wind... trying to get the modeling a bit better. Yes. Wow, look at that. Now we're getting pushed down almost. Goodness gracious. Might have to fire the autopilot at some point. If it really gets bad, we'll have to kind of turn the left and go down through the valley there if we have to, and then get control of the plane again. But that'll allow us to build speed back up and then get our altitude back if we had to do that. But I think we're okay. It just seemed like it was like it was like this hand was pushing the plane down all of a sudden. You know. Look at this. Could you imagine living up here and having this view? All this nice greenery around you. Got these mountainous areas a bit. Absolutely amazing stuff. Wow, now we look at that. Now we're weighing. Looks like I gotta go the other way. This concerns me about our fuel now. I might have to. Yeah, let me gas up here real quick. Look at that, full service in the sky. Because it's like we're fighting to stay on track. Because if we just keep getting pushed way off, and then we're just burning fuel at that point unnecessarily. And that's the hard part. Because normally most autopilots will keep the plane on a fairly, if we put in a heading, it'll say it'll hold that heading. It will keep adjusting the plane to maintain that heading. But today it's like it's just not working really. Well, you know what I didn't do? Oops, daisy. I have not been talking. I was like, wait a minute. It's like, wait a minute, something's missing. See, even the... No, we don't want that. Oh, that's a VOR. Okay. Why isn't my co-pilot helping me out? Put it on. I guess my co-pilot just didn't want to do anything. It's like my co-pilot went to sleep. Aye. Well, we're just plugging along here. We should be getting to Modena here pretty soon, and then we're going to turn left, kind of to the north, and head to Mantua. There's a little small strip there. There's no tower, nothing like that. It's probably a little grass field for a crop duster or something like that. So we'll fly in over the city and then we'll put it on the ground, and we may do a quick flyover just to see which way is the best way in before we call in for landing, or let them know that we're coming in. Yeah, I think that's what we do. So I'm expecting runway 15. So that would be something leave. The opposite would be, but we'll look. We'll pass over it and then we'll figure out which direction. Whatever the opposite, if the opposite end is better than whatever's of the two options, then it won't be 15. It'll be whatever the other one is. And we'll get in there and get it on the ground and pull off, and then we're done. wrap up the stream for the day. Do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the trip so far. It's not technically... Ooh, is that a dam? Is it like a dam / hydroelectric plant, maybe? That's what it looks like. Huh. It's not... I kind of... The other one was just going to be a little too fast for our flight today, the 337. So I was looking for something. I was going to do the 172, but then that was going to be too slow. And this is, I think we've hit about the sweet spot right here on this, with this one. You know, it's fast, but it's not too fast. You know, of course we can go quicker if we have to, but we're just going to enjoy the scenery and all that. It's like an extra dose of scenic Sunday. And I don't know, I've heard... what I didn't really look at. And it's probably somewhere on the list of... Hold on a second. What is World Update 10? What is the area that they're going to be working on? I think it was in the update thing, the development update. Oh my goodness! Look at that. We're just getting there. It goes again. Trailer for World Update 10 to be announced in about 11 days. Okay. So we'll know in 11 days. Yeah. And then the local legends will be announced then as well. Okay. I've heard bits and pieces, or, you know, like possible places that they were going to work on, but I don't remember what it was. But I'm curious to see what it is and what the local legend will be. I'm hoping it's not going to be another flying boat plane. The co-pilot has gone to sleep, I think. Let's see if that changes anything. Coming out of these, over this low mountains or whatever, low hills. Start dropping a little bit of altitude now. I'm at about 3,500 now. looks like somebody's driveway or something. Like, look at that place. I mean, that, again, it looks like it's a possible winery. Maybe that's the thing, but yeah, look at these places. Wow. Yeah, kind of a quiet chat day, I guess. I know a lot of people in the UK are off today for the Jubilee, so a lot of people might be out with family, doing other activities. Plethora of activities that come with the Jubilee. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie Three Amigos. And it's this comedy bit with Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short, where they're Hollywood actors, silent film era. They're like cowboys who ride in and always save the day and stuff like that. And then they get kind of let go by their studio, or they wanted more money, and the studio's basically like, nah, you're not getting it, kind of thing. And so this woman in this little town in Mexico, she sees their films and said, oh, these are the heroes we're looking for, because there's this bad person named El Guapo. Now, you hear El Guapo and you're thinking, what? And I didn't know for many years that the word El Guapo, or what El Guapo translates to in English, is the handsome. But they say it like he's this terrible person. But there's a scene where he's going to have a birthday party, and he asks his right hand man. He says, do you think I have many presents? Do you think I have a plethora of presents? And the guy thinks about it. See, El Guapo, you have a plethora of presents. And so he's like, do you even know what a plethora is? Could it be that you, El Guapo, with your superior intellect, and, it's funny, so... I know somebody's going to be laughing at that reference. So yeah, I never knew that. I had to look it up because I was like, what does that mean? And yeah, that's what it means. It's the handsome. And here I thought it was like this terrible name, From the beginning. I think that's 10. Yep, perfect. That's a little bit easier to see now. Wow, we are just getting bounced everywhere. And again, it's not like it's a massive, 4 knots. Look at that. It's just insane. But yeah, I watched Spies Like Us last night. Forgot how funny that movie was. I mean, it was just cheesy funny, you know. Kind of that slapstick humor bit. And that, before that, I watched Office Space, which was always a funny movie. We're just plugging along here. We're almost at Modena, I believe. Matter of fact, you know what we could do? Let's just have a look. How far do we have to go? I think we're getting closer. So we had about 35 nautical miles. We'll be there, give or take. We will be at the racetrack there. We will head to Mantua. Again, I'm probably butchering that name. Tazio's nickname was the Flying Mantua. And I can't imagine, you know, just thinking, oh, wait a minute. Anybody else see this? Like there's this, it's like two different, you know what? It's like the crops were grown on this side, and on the other side, behind us, it's all, the fields have been harvested, or were close to being harvested. I just noticed this line. Look at that. Oh, come on. Wow. Goodness gracious. And look at... Oh, wow. I just noticed that now. Look at that all the way through here. Wow. That is just... I just can't believe that. It's so clear, you know, you could see that clear. Oh my goodness, that. Wow, I don't know what to say to that. That is just. Goodness. And it's not even like they tried to blend it. It's just such an obvious. It's like somebody sliced it right down the middle there, as best as they could. Like, look at that. The road doesn't even line up. And I know how that is, because when I worked for the aerial navigation, or the company that did the aerial photography stuff, right? And again, I predominantly worked on the whole map, aerial version of, or put a whole mosaic together of the state of Missouri. And you know, when you things are not always going to line up perfectly, because the way that maybe the camera didn't capture the angle of things correctly, you know, because you have the curvature of the earth. And basically what we did was we would cut out roughly the center of the photo, because at a certain point, because of the curvature, that part would be useless, and so you would have to try to overlap it. But then you would have, because the photos were taken at different times of the year, you would have a complete strange sort of things would be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't always align. Like the trees would be, you would see them from a different angle in one picture, and then an opposite angle in the other picture. Sometimes it would even be things like a shadow. First project I think I worked on was for a company. They wanted a digital mosaic of photo mosaic of Pearl Harbor, and you know, you put it together and then you're starting to make sure everything lines up, and then you could see clearly the buildings. You could, like, they were taken at 2 different times a day, and so you had shadows starting on one side, and then it like cuts in the middle, and then the shadows are on the other side. Like, you know, what are you supposed to do? You know? And so we would, it was almost like we would Photoshop it. Like, okay, can we cut and paste a part of the, and erase this? You know, it was a very time-consuming process, because even then it didn't look very good. Like, you could see, so it's like you were trying all these different things to try to just get it to, you know, to look good. But it's not always easy. So I can understand that. But that's like a very glaring sort of example of that, you know. And you could see it even from here. There's that line, it seems, I think it was, back behind us. Yeah. But I know they're working on things, and it won't never be completely perfect. But it's when you see that and you're just like, wow. It's like they just slap something on top, one layer on top of the other, and they were like, ah, there you go, it's good. But that's the limitations of our technology. You know, it'll never be 100% accurate. It's just the best representation that we can get. I guess that's a park up there. Yeah. Yep. A little island there. You can go up there. Looks like there's a way to walk out there, maybe. Yeah. Go out there and probably have a picnic. Seems like it can be a nice little park there. Go hold hands with somebody. Walk around. Gee whiz. Anyways, what else? Yeah, so I can kind of sympathize with that, because it was not easy, and especially in the areas where, you know, you have these mountains, and we've seen, I think, examples of this in the sim, where you have very steep mountains, and so you have this look. Instead of it looking natural, it's like all kind of jumbled together. It doesn't look good, you know. It just looks kind of like you're looking at, what is that supposed to be? And it's just because of the way when the plane flies over and you're taking the photo, it's not going to capture all that information, I don't think. And maybe, you know, so it's sometimes very difficult. Or you would, even in some forests, you know, you would get that sort of this buzzed out, just really, it's like this streak of, like somebody just took an eraser, digital eraser, and just, but they didn't erase anything, or a smudger, there we go. They digitally smudged it over a certain part of the digital photo once we ran our stuff. And you have to go in there and you have to try to clean it all up, and it's just, like I said, it was a very time-consuming process. You could spend probably half of your day just on that one section trying to get it all cleaned up to at least look halfway decent. Mr. Squirrel is looking for food. Mr. Squirrel. Oh, here we go. We're coming up to the track here. Let's see if we can get a picture of. Acknowledge that since my co-pilot went to sleep. I should have probably just left that alone. We're looking for, I think that's, nope, that's not our waypoint. We're looking for the track. Keep an eye out for that. We'll try to get a picture as we go over it. If we go past it or whatever, I'll pop back in. But I want to try to get a picture of the plane as we go over the track there. Trying to feel back to the side here real quick. We got to turn. I think we got to turn a little bit first. Yeah, it's this very kind of weird. Trying to look for the. There it is, right there. I see it now. All right. So the airfield is right. The airstrip is right there. That's a little airport right next to the track there. Let's get a picture here. And get a little bit closer so we can actually. Bingo. That'll do. I like it. One more from up here. About that. Just for good measure. There it is, folks. I mean, not very clearly represented, but you can see the layout of the track there. Main, like the pit area. Garages and such. Certainly enough space for support. I think they do have like some club events there. I think you can do. Well, they used to have it where you could do like a Ferrari. You could go there and they would have old Ferrari challenge cars that you could do like a ride around the track and all that. You could, well, not ride. You could drive it. But of course, you know, you have like an instruction period and whole bunch of other things, and I'm sure it's not cheap to do, but yeah. So there we are. Get on our way to Mantua here. Again, I apologize if I'm butchering that name completely. Track here. Always, that's one of the great things, because you know I can kind of put my two things I really am passionate about, like flying, obviously, but also, you know, we get to see some race tracks from the skies, Hello, RL42. Welcome to the channel. How are you? So basically what we're doing, we took off, first time I see the 182 and I find it... well, they do move, like if you... Well, I don't know if they... No, they don't. Like if I go manual, right? Because I'm just basically, I'm using the autopilot and just using the heading mode, so it probably won't turn. But if you're on manual, you should be able to fly, you know. Right here, I'll show you. Yeah, see, now they work. You can see them turn like that. So they do turn. Yeah, that's why. Sorry. So yes, I am your host, Uncle B. Welcome to the channel. Just give you a quick, so we are in the 182T, as you noticed, and we are on our way to Mantua, in Italy, the birthplace of famous Italian racing driver Tazio Nuvolari. So we just passed the track there in Modena. So we are heading, so we're kind of talking a little bit about racing stuff, and also we're just trying to see some of the beautiful scenery here in Italy along the way. Yeah, I would think that they would, but you're right. I've never really thought about it, to be honest. Because, you know, normally, because when I'm in autopilot, I'm usually outside showing some of the scenery and stuff like that. But you're right. I would think it would. But I'm guessing the autopilot basically, if you're like in nav mode or heading mode, it just the rudder and everything works independently. You don't have to have that input. Like it's programmed to do what it needs to do to get us there. I'm guessing. But anyway, yeah. So we took off from over by it was a small airfield. It's a Italian military helicopter base. All grass field. So we took off. We went over the. We finally made our way over the Juventus Stadium, Allianz Stadium, as it's called. And then we passed over the building that is the house, or where it's a museum for Italian cinema is housed there. Really interesting, and the links are in there. I don't know if you can scroll back up to see it, because I think if you pop into the chat, everything previous to that is not there possibly. And then we went to Modena. And then we are heading to Mantua, and here I'll put it in a link about Tazio Nuvolari. His big goofy grin there. So he was born in Mantua, so they called him the Flying Mantua. That was his nickname. Pretty sure then real life pulls the same cable. Yeah, I think so too, but I mean, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I mean, I would think it's programmed, like it automatically moves that stuff, but just not the controls. I don't know. That's a good question. Good comment. I have no idea. I've never been in a, most of the time anytime I've been on a flight deck, usually the pilots have, they're steering the plane, or they got their hands on it like they're flying it, but I don't know if that's for just for looks, or if they were, I don't know. But that's a good observation. All right, let's get some altitude down here. It'll be sufficient. But yeah, yeah, Tazio. Oh, thank you for the follow too, or 42. Appreciate that. So yeah, we do try to fly 7 days a week. Tomorrow we will be in the P-38 Lightning. Hands on the yoke, even the wife sees me. Good one. I like it. Oh, the plane's flying itself? Well, you could do other things now. No, I can't. I'm flying. I gotta have my hands on the controls, just in case. And I guess I would think that you would have your hands nearby in case you have a system failure or something. Obviously, that makes sense. But yeah, so we are on our way. There's a little grass field, like a farm field, and we're gonna fly over that, and then we'll see which way is the best way in, and then we'll come around, we'll put it on the ground, and we'll call it a day. So yeah, thanks for popping in and joining the channel. I am your host, as I said, Uncle B. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK in the Lockheed P-38 Lightning. We call it Lightning Saturdays. That's my little nickname for it. And it's what we're doing is we're flying to former Army Air Corps fields in America. We're in California. We will be heading eventually over into Arizona, then up in Nevada, and we're going to kind of just zigzag around for a little while and just check all that out. And so yeah, that's what we're up to. And then Sunday we'll be back in Italy. We're going to have a nice flight around Florence, Italy. We do a scenic flight on Sundays. This is just kind of it turned into a scenic flight, but it wasn't planned that way. It just happened that way, so which is fine. Ooh, there's a nice breeze right now. Oh, it feels good. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. I do 2 streams usually on Sundays. The first stream will be on Train Sim World 2. We're going to take a ride on the Northern Transpennine, and then once that's wrapped up, we'll get ready to fly around Florence. Usually like a 15-20 minute break between streams, just to get things reset, give me time to run to the restroom and all that good stuff. Okay. So, and then one day we'll do a D-Day memorial flight. We're going to take off from Goodwood and head over to Denard. The multiplayer lobby will be open. I don't know which server we'll have. I'll put it in as we go live, so if people want to join, they're more than welcome to. So I will be in the P-38 Lightning that day, and we'll go flying, do a D-Day flight, and then we'll wrap that up. Hey, I escaped and made it. Mick. Oh, Mick. Well, I will pop into your stream tonight, just as you guys get started. I'll leave you a lovely thumbs up and say hello, and then I will pop out for my night off tonight. So, looking forward to, hopefully you guys have a good time tomorrow, or tonight. FIFA hopefully goes well. know it'll be a bit of ranting and whatnot. It looks like there's a... Is that like a toll? That's what it looks like. Huh. Yeah, you come off and then, yeah, you gotta pay for, like, a toll. That's what it looks like there. Interesting. But nice to see you here. We just passed Modena. I got a picture. I'll post it in the Discord. And well, if you look where it says, you know, in the picture section, there is a picture of Tazio Nuvolari's vest. Well, they call it his jacket, but it's like a vest that he wore when he raced. So I put that in there, and then I got a picture of the plane just as we went over Modena, the track and all that. So it's not, it wasn't clearly, you know, like, it was a bit muddy, but you know, you could see the outline of the track. So we were on our way to Mantua, certainly, but well before. We shouldn't even get too close, much closer to those snow-covered mountains. So, matter of fact, let's have a look how much farther we got to go. Right there. And that's probably at 35 nautical miles again. 20 nautical. Okay, so we got a little bit less. We're almost there. So yeah, it's been good to see the pic. Yeah, I took that at Amelia Island. I think it was one of the last times I got to go for the Concours d'Elegance down there. Alfa Romeo had a big booth kind of set up, or display thing all set up, and so they had that on display and some other stuff associated with him. So yeah, kind of interesting to see that that was considered the safety stuff for that period of time. I don't know what it would have done for him, you know, quite honestly. I mean, yeah. But I will be posting all the links for everything that we talked about today. Will be also in the for the YouTube video stuff, so that people can get an idea of what. Oh wow! What is? Wow, we've been just getting pushed all over today. Like, it's just been nuts. Let's go down. Let's move out. Let's go down. There we go. So we should be able to see our. We'll find our little. Matter of fact, you know what we'll do? We're gonna kind of. Just so that it's easier to find it, because it's a little field. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. So this is the town of Mantua here, just off to in front and to our left, basically. Yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, like Saturday. King City to Burbank. So we're kind of going back around, down, back to Southern California. Burbank was the home of Lockheed during World War II. Very interesting history of the area when Lockheed was building the P-38 Lightning and other planes in the area. Very secretive stuff. They had to basically camouflage the town to make it appear as if it wasn't a military factory place. Yeah, really interesting stuff. All right, so let's just have a look here. I think we're coming around. Let's turn a little bit to the left, so we kind of go right over the field. Pretty good idea of which is going to be our clearest way in. I think it's going to be 1.5, but I want to just get a look because there's trees at both ends, but I think runway 1.5 might be our best bet, which is the one closest to this road right here. Okay. I think that's going to be our best bet, is to come in on 1.5. We're just going to have to kind of dump right over those trees, and then oh boy, there's a building right here. Okay, I think that's there. I think that's the strip, so maybe the opposite end is better. Yeah, I think the opposite way. So we'll see what happens. Let's take a look. So it'll be runway 4. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Runway 4 or runway 22. Okay. We're gonna cut off all of our stuff here. Load. All right, let's go. So get some flaps down so we can start slowing down a bit here. A little bumpy today. I tell you, it's been windy. Camo the town, but there was those. Oh no! Well, yeah, they were worried not so much about the spy satellites, obviously, but if an aircraft could fly over and identify the manufacturing facility for Lockheed, that it would become a target for, obviously sabotage. So they did all this work, and then they even flew a general over the area, and he could not identify it. And they were in a little plane. They flew around it, and he thought it looked like an everyday American town. But yeah, there was like a whole. They were so worried about the possibility of enemy agents spotting it and then saying, oh yeah, this facility is here, and where is that? Okay, I think this was the better choice, better way to come in. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a much clearer spot. Matter of fact, you know what? We're not gonna go all the way. We're just going to cut the corner here, and we're going to put it on the ground. Because something like this is so much easier to, it would be easy to miss, like lose sight of the runway, so, because it's not very well defined. But yeah, they were worried that, if a, foreign adversary had flown over, that if they hadn't taken those measures, they were, that the area was that possibly could have been blown up or whatever, sabotaged, and then they would have lost all the production of aircraft for quite some time. So I just thought it was a bit of interesting history. I didn't even know about that. I learned something new as well. It's always fun to do that. All right, folks, here we are. I'm gonna keep my eyes on the prize here. Completely lined up. I think this is our. We might have landed a little short, but that's okay. We're on the runway. Look at that. There we go. That's what I like. Anyway, welcome to Mantua, Italy. Local time is not 100% sure. We understand and appreciate the fact that you have so many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures, and we are glad that you chose to fly with us today. We'll be back tomorrow. P-38 Lightning, King City to Burbank. Oh, 3:24. Thank you. Local time is 3:24 in the afternoon. So do join us for that if you can. Should be a nice flight. Have a good time flying back down to Burbank, and we'll land and have a nice. It should be a nice flight tomorrow, and we'll be done. We'll get that wrapped up. So yeah, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK. Thank you once again to Oral42. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right for following. Thank you once again to Mick, one of my first subscribers. And thank you to Patrice. Both him and Patrice are founding members of the Uncle B channel here on Twitch. So thank you both for that. Thank you for your support. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and get that all turned off. And I think I just have to turn the batteries off. And that will be it. Maybe even the avionics master. Wow. Okay. Apparently not. All right. Well, we're just going to have to pause it here then, because it didn't end the flight like it should have. But anyway, so yeah, thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight. I will see you all tomorrow in the P-38 Lightning. Do enjoy the rest of your Friday, morning, afternoon, evening, early Saturday, depending on where you are in the world. I have been your host, Uncle B. Peace. Live long and prosper.